Right, so we're going to get 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 43. Because your question was, what was your question again? Say where did they change the image? Right, so we're going to read that right now. You familiar with the Apocrypha? The Apocrypha was taken out during the Protestant Reformation in 17th century, late 1600s. It was taken out of the Bible, but it was originally in there. You can find out what happened before the Hasmonean dynasty, during the Greek Empire. This is what was going on. And this is the same thing going on today.
First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right. So the so-called white man, Idumea, they took our Bible and they was painting their images in the Bible. When we would go into captivity or we would go into slavery with the other nations, they would take our records because we had written records. We used to carry the Ark of the Covenant, carry our records with us. They looked and read in our records just like they do today, where they look at all works of antiquity, and they went in and painted themselves as God. That's why when you look at this image over here, growing up, you probably seen the one, let me see where it's at, the inside, Sebo. You probably seen him in your churches, but the Bible does not describe him as that. The Bible does not describe Christ looking like that. The Bible describes him looking like the outside picture, looking like you. He's a so-called black man. If he was to walk the streets today, they would call him a nigger, a Negro.
Right.
That's what the true depiction of is at the end down there. But that's with everything. Even when you look at the other nations, the so-called white man, he's the lowest of the heathen. Even when you look at movies like The Last Samurai, he the Japanese man, the guys of Egypt, he the African. You know what I'm saying? He want to be the Israelite. He want to be everybody. Now it's confusion, because when you don't know who you are, or you don't have any history of where you come from, it's easy for you to just assimilate in somebody else's culture. Right. It's easy for you to forget your own laws and statutes and just do whatever feels good because you want to blend in instead of stand out. Right. Get that in Second Maccabees 6 about Antiochus. This is all in the Bible. It's biblical. The term for it today is naturalization. Listen to this.
Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1.
Now
long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Right. So even back then, just how they do today, they put sports as a distraction in front of us. They put sexuality, homosexuality, all these different things they put in front of us to cause us to err away from our God. Distractions. It's the same thing back as during the Greek Empire. Anything that'll draw us away from God, they put in front of us. It's prevalent. It's all over TV. It's all over social media. You know? That will draw us away from God. When you read in Judith, they talk about the same thing. The other nations know that once we depart from our God, then we don't have any power. We're powerless. We have to keep the commandments. That's our strength. Come on.
Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Right. So it wasn't even lawful for us to say that our nationality was an Israelite. We couldn't even do that, or they would put us to death. We had to conform and say, I'm a Grecian, or something like that.
She wanted to know the color of Christ. She thought he was Arabic. Arabic. Yeah, okay. She thought he was Arabic.
Okay, we'll get that, because it's all relative. We're going into the same thing about image. Get Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. And then we're going to get the image of Christ. Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. Because what the brother had asked earlier, sis, what the brother had asked earlier was, why was the image changed in the Bible? Why is it depicted as a so-called white man, but in the Bible, Christ looked like something else? Christ looked like us. So we're going into that right now, because it's all prophetic. Come on.
The book of Hosea, chapter 3 and verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image.
Right. So it said we would abide many days for a long period of time. We wouldn't have these things, an ephod, a sacrifice, a king, nor an image. We have confusion of faces right now. We don't know who our God is. We don't know who we are. But the image has always been in the Bible. We're going to get the image for you right now. In these last days, that's the product of slavery. When you go into slavery, the first thing you do is to kill all communication and understanding of what the captors or the captive collective heritage was. You destroy them as a people, so that way they don't know what to go back to.
Right.
We just talked about that. I was just telling you that. That's the first thing you do when you go to war with people. You look at war right now, they kill all type of communication. News communication, radio waves, they kill all that so information can't be transmitted. That's what they do with our history, with our culture. They destroy all that, so now you feel like you're nothing. How is it that they tell us the world was 6 billion years ago created, but yet when it comes to our nationality and our history, they can't go past 1600. They can't go past the conquistadors.
Right.
Why is that? But you can go and carbon date and do all this stuff and go back 6 billion years ago. That's what they say. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read it.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must surely come to pass.
Right, so sis, we talking about the revelation of Jesus, right? You listening? Right. The root word of revelation, the suffix or the prefix is reveal. So to reveal something, what does that mean? If you were to reveal something. Expose something or to make it known, to put it out in the forefront. You're taking it from being covered. So in 14.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 14.
Bring it out.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Right. So it said the hair on his head and the hairs on his beard were white like wool. What people do you know have woolly hair? Or better yet, does this image right here that we see all over the media, does that person have woolly hair? No, it doesn't. What people have woolly hair?
Bring it out.
You can say it.
Teach up.
Who? People of color, right. People of color. Your people. You say you Issachar, right? You see yourself on that sign? You from the tribe of Issachar? Your father's a Hispanic Mexican? Right. It's people in Mexico that got woolly hair.
Right.
They differ in the south of Mexico, though, but they have woolly hair as well. They don't really get put on TV like that.
That's right.
But they have woolly hair as well. So these are all the same people. At the end of the day is what we bring it out.
Right.
We must come back together under Christ, the black Messiah.
That's
Come
right.
on, read that again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Right, so some people say, oh, it was white, so that means he was white. But all sheep aren't white. You got black sheep, you got brown sheep. That's talking about the texture. White in color, woolly in texture. Come on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Right, in Matthew 2 and 13. It said, and his feet like fine brass as they burned in the furnace. His eyes was red because he drank wine, when you read the prophecy in Genesis 49. It said his feet like in color to polished brass, or like they burned in brass. I mean, the brass was burned in the fire. So what color is brass? What color is brass? Brown, right? It's a derivative of brown. So if you already take something that's dark and you burn it, what color is it going to turn? It's going to turn black. Yeah, so Jesus Christ, what color is the Bible saying he is? He got woolly hair and he got dark skin. Hebrews 7 and 14 say he sprang out the tribe of Judah. So that means he was a so-called African American in today's term, but biblically he's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You are an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Color is all throughout the Bible, but right now in society they teach us that color is bad. That's why you see our people bleaching their skin. You see our women putting blonde in their hair, men too, because the image that is pushed out is the image of the devil. We want to look like the so-called white man. We want to look like the other nations. When God say we're the most beautiful things on this earth.
That's right.
What you got? Yeah, get that. There's some more color in the Bible for you, because it's not just right there. It's all over the Bible. All the people was dark color. Come on.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 13.
Bring it out.
When they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Right. So are you familiar with the New Testament? What was going on with the nativity of Jesus Christ? You familiar? Herod, Herod sought to kill like the firstborn of all the people, because he knew in the prophecy that a king king would be coming out of the Israelite lineage to raise up his people and redeem his people. So he wanted to kill the firstborn of all the people. So an angel came to Mary and Joseph and told them, flee into Egypt or flee into Africa, so that way Herod wouldn't be able to kill Jesus Christ. So if you're fleeing persecution, if you're fleeing for your life, just say you right now, if somebody was after you and you were to flee, would you flee into Highland Park or Switzerland or somewhere like that where it's predominantly white people? No, you would probably flee like San Antonio, you would probably flee somewhere over here in Texas to where you could blend in, right? So just going in what the Bible said, Christ, they fled into Africa because they could mix and blend amongst the Africans.
We are gods, we are kings, we march in faith 'cause we believe we can change the world to what it needs, stand against our enemies 'cause we can. Yeah, can't nothing ever stop us. Take one and another will rise up. We'll endure until we reach the end. We are gods, we are kings, demanding change 'cause we believe we can.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.